welcome to Just Bird Tarot. Today I'm going to go over some of the decks that I've been working with during the month of May. These are like the ones for love readings, I have been using Chariot Enchantress's Romantic Fairy Oracle on the base, right? So I will do the base, and then I will pull from the Wylder ones for clarification and reinforcement to the reading. I love this deck. It just, I love it, right? And for like the pressing down upon the reading, the overall, the past energies that are affecting the base, okay, and the overall, I will pull 3 from Penelope's, and I find this just aesthetically beautiful, and they work well together, right? Now, as well, I use Penelope and the Wylder ones without cherries with the Pastoral Tarot, and how I do that is the same way with the 3 on top for the reinforcement, overall passing energies that are affecting the reading right now, right? And again, with the Wylder ones, that is going to be a staple, right? So then I will have the Pastoral, and I do 4 corners with the Pastoral, right? So I will have my base with whatever cards are down, whichever ones I'm using. I'll have the base and the reinforcements, but these will be the guidance, and these are the reinforcements of the 4 corners. So I will just place them in the 4 corners of usually a 9 card to 12 card spread. It all depends, you know. I can't see, so but they will go in the corners. I haven't been using this so much. I love it just because I love, you know, I really enjoy the images, but I haven't been reading with it so much. Not because of the images, or even, I just haven't been working with it. It just, you know, just the 4 corners. I haven't done like a 12 card or anything. I'm finding it a little more difficult, I think, to read these. So they are going to be implemented into the sidewinders, okay, like the 4 corners, or they could also take the place of Penelope's in the future as the 3 overhaul pressing down. But I do enjoy them in the 4 corners, and to have them looking back at me. That's such a beautiful card, right? I mean, just the images are spectacular for me, because this reminds me of home and where, like, the atmosphere in which I live. Unfortunately, what have I been going through? My son got kicked in the face by a horse. He deals with horses. He flips horses. It's his business, one of his businesses. However, he got kicked in the face, and you know, you just never stop being a mom. You never ever stop being a mom, and your kids are always going to need you. Just even though it's like he just gets kicked in the face by a horse, and there isn't anything that I can do. You know, he you know, got his stitches and whatever. But the fact that the children still want to share those things with me is beautiful. You know, like, and there's nothing I can do, and I want to do something, like I want to be the one to take you to the hospital, but you know, grown man took himself, and I don't know, it's just, you never stop, it will never stop, and I'm so grateful for that they still want their mama in their life. Get kicked in the face by a horse. He's like, just another day with the horses, Ma. And I said, oh, thank goodness it was a horse and not a human. He was like, I would not allow a human to do this to me. So, of course, I had to follow up, well, how is the horse? He was like, oh, the horse is fine. He wouldn't whoop a horse either. But this deck, I don't know. I didn't do a walkthrough of this or anything. I'm sure everyone has seen all of these decks. They're just, everything is just sweet and new to me. So I've been enjoying it, all of it, just really, really enjoying shuffling and having cards in my hands once again. I accidentally gave away a box of cards that I intended to keep. I won't be repurchasing though. I don't believe. I don't think there was anything that I was going to keep that, I will be replacing. Possibly in the future, but nothing that sticks out. It's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. I'm just like, these aren't the decks that I was going to keep, right? So out of all of them, I picked one that I'm actually going to keep that was in a box to go to donations or whatnot, and I'm happy with it, because once I had it in my hands and I'm looking at it, I was like, this will be great time to, like, for summer. Just the aesthetic of it was very bright and sun-like, so these are nice. Now I have purchased decks, I have made purchases. I'm replacing my thought. That won't be here for a while. However, I did end up replacing that, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Quite frankly, and this deck is just so exquisite and beautiful. Now for myself, as far as lovely, lovely, lovely. And the message is a chance of treasure. Prepare to dive. The deeper I go, the more I see and the more I know. Just beautiful. And this is like, for me, is almost like Chariot. A short trip away, deep relaxation. I gift myself time and space for healing and renewal. Very, Sharon McLeod does it for me, because for my personal self, this is for readings like these. I are for the readings that I do online, and I don't often pull like a full reading for myself, and really not for myself, but predictive reads I like to do. Worldly reads, but they get a little weird, and whatever, I'm a little weird, it's okay, there's no shame in it. Oh, so beautiful. It just makes me want to go play a harp or a harpsichle, one of the two. I love the sound of the harp. It's so calming and relaxing. As is this deck. I appreciate the white space and the vibrant pop in color just sitting there. It leaves room to breathe. I'm glad there isn't any borders. I'm so pleased. Well, there's the Queen of Pentacles if I've ever seen one. My goodness, with her friend, I'm going to say she's the Knight of Wands energy, the friend, right? Oh, Miss Leo. Oh, the kidders. Aww. Like, who wouldn't fall in love just with the images, And the messages are beautiful. I haven't done anything with the book, I don't even know what she has in here. She has the symbols. I've never even looked at it. All right, I'm going to look at it. That's good to know. I'm going to look at it. But for myself, like this morning, I pull from this for myself, which is also Sharon McLeod's work, and Scott Alexander. So this is what I pulled for myself today, and it's Grandma. No, it has nothing to do with age, actually. This card, has to be really, it's really about embracing who you are and not being afraid to be whoever you choose to be, right? It doesn't matter. This is about inequality and sexism and all of those isms and like Me Too movements and just the inequality between men and women, and really embracing who you are against all odds. Forget what other people think. Grandma in this deck, the story is that the person's grandma she dressed as a flapper, and it wasn't her era, so people made fun of her, and she did things like smoked cigarettes and drank whiskey and had jobs, right? And this long time ago, when women weren't supposed to have jobs. They were supposed to stay home and be barefoot and pregnant, ironing and playing cards, right? Well, this grandma didn't mind playing cards if she was betting, right? If she was a gambler, and she'd get in trouble. Society didn't like her. The police didn't like her. Other women didn't like her. So she was always judged by her appearance, and unfairly so at that. So this card is about, just forget what others think and be you. No matter what that looks like, be true to you. Be bold. Be brave. Step back in time. If that's, some women love Marilyn Monroe, and if they want to dress and do their hair in vintage style, and they should be allowed to express themselves anyway without judgment or persecution. And same with religions, whether you're pagan or Christian or nothing at all, or something else. It does just be who you are and forget about the judgments of others. And so Grandma resonates to the power of 11, and she's surrounded by beautiful little creatures. This is a woman who attracts people, right? And she's not afraid to speak her mind. She has a promise around her neck, right? She has a rose on her throat chakra. So this is a woman of her word. And no matter what she says, you might not agree or like it, but she's a woman of her word. So I begin my day with one of these recently. That's about as much pulling of cards that I do for self. I don't do shadow work with tarot or oracles for myself. I have a different, I use a recovery format for my internal examination. I don't call it shadow work. It just has a different name and label, and it's no different, though, a self-examination and thoroughly looking at your behavioral patterns and triggers and where they stem from and how to sit through feelings and not react to everything is just kind of where I am, and that's how I change on a daily basis. But that's the format that I use, and as far as privately and offline readings with actual humans, that is what we go through, because those who I serve, I'm serving in that respect, whether it be food, sex. Some people just have a lot of childhood trauma and are trying to sift through it. So we sift through things together now. And that is the therapeutic value of one person helping another. So for that, I don't charge people for that. I don't charge for readings. If I were to read online, I would want to, for monies, I would want to read for donations that would be to send to somebody else type of thing, like I would read for donations for someone else at this point. But I wouldn't read to collect funds for myself. unless I was in a situation where it's like, hey, the donations are for me this week because, I'm broke or something, whatever the case may be. But for me, my tarot practice is really a form of being in service to others. Same with the online platform. It hasn't always been like this, but for now, that's that's what works for me. And online tarot is more, I just say it's all baloney, folks. There's no querent, nobody asked for this, whatever it may be. Some purchases, as I received this selenite, beautiful feather. I'm just in love. I'm so drawn to lavender this season, and usually I'm a pink girl, but this year I still have pink, and I did pick this up from the Dollar Tree, and it works, but I really prefer live plants. But for my desk, this is okay. It's okay. This morning I went to Big Lots, and I have like natural things, so they had some things on sale, and for $3 I got this little Jimmy here. And I have my real succulents, but for the desk and the sake of filming or whatnot, pretty little things, I picked this up for in the future because I feel like this is good with that. And I have some other things that go along with setting up for aesthetics. I pick these up anywhere and everywhere, but I don't think I've ever spent more than $2 on a placemat, regardless of this one would originally be more than that, but I never spend more than that because I buy off season, and I'm a complete sales freak. Like, that is just me. Dinks, dents. Now, as far as tabletop gear, like my fabric, this is a yard of fabric that I purchased, and I paid $3.26. It was on sale. Normally flat folds are $4.49 per yard. But again, that one was on sale, and this one I got even less, and this is a yard, and I just thought this would be nice for a base, as it is the map of the world. So I thought that would be a nice little backdrop sometimes. And when I have the urge to spend money, that's what I do. Where it's like I want to spend money or go out, and I want to go out and not spend money, but I want to get out and amongst the people. This is what I do. I go down the street to the it's called Goods, and I purchase fabric. I'll show you. This is a large piece of fabric that is this is I think 3 yards, and I paid less than $3 for it. They just roll up the fabric. So if you purchase a yard of fabric, it's a great piece, for a table. It's enough for a table. You could probably get by with a half a yard, and I'll show you in a second, depending on your setup. Now this, I picked this up for the future, and this little doily cost, I think it was $1.97 or something, at Goods. And I buy their stuff on sale too, because a lot of their stuff is just way too pricey, and this actually looks kind of nice on top of the natural. I have 2 others, one that I have had, and the other one I picked up because, again, it was less than $2. But this one I had, and I paid $4.99 for this at some point. I don't know when, but I've had it. And so I paid $4.99 for that. And its companion here, I paid $3.99. And again, $1.99 for this one. I don't know. $1.99, $1.97, whatever. Anything under $2, right? And this looks nice on the natural as well. Just that layering effect with the checkers and then the lavender and the natural. It looks pretty. And the natural looks nice with, my animal, my feather friends up there, my feathers. And of course, I'm all about the bird energy these days, and this is the fabric that I used, and this is modafabrics.com. But I picked this up. This was $1.86, and like I said, this is, I believe, a half yard. Yes, and you may be able to get by with a half yard. I have two here. I don't even think this is a half yard, but whatever. This is just a Rembrandt, right? It's bigger than a placemat, but not by much, maybe by that much. I don't know. But it does the trick for a layering effect, and I have a tan one underneath too. Now, when these go on sale, I pick them up because they're already pre-cut and they're just, for $1 something. I'm tickled. I'm like tickled when I find fabric like that. I wish I knew how to sew, because then I would definitely be making things, right? Now this is just this is not a fabric that I purchase. That's an Amazon purchase, right? And this, again, I'm very pleased with this. And I took a walk this month, just the other day actually, on a trail near my house, and I found this little feather, so pretty, like a baby feather. So she sits here. Now, other decks that I've been working with, like Penelope's deck, as I said, I pull 3 cards. It looks lovely with the Wylder ones. Aesthetically, I'm pleased. And I can throw something more solid in there if I chose to. But as far as the aesthetics are just for, my eyes. They read really well together. And this deck, I'm just, love, 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 love. It just hits me. It's a sweet, sweet spot for me. So what else I've been working with is the animal spirit. The wild unknown animal spirit, and I'm very shocked and surprised by this deck, but really am embracing it and reading the book along with it when I do a pull. Just very sweet spot for me. Look, and I have no problem using this with this. Now, what I've been using with this is this, the Wild Whiskers. Very drawn to the animal spirit. I don't know what's going on with me. However, I do have a walkthrough of this deck. I'll leave it up above. I love everything about this. The heart. This deck has a lot of open hearts in it as well. So aesthetically, I enjoy this, even with this and with this. It doesn't bother me. I've been using this as just clarifiers, just a little something extra. Same with this, a little something extra to the reading as I learn, right? And that's how I learn to utilize new decks, is I use them during a reading and I read the book, and I don't have a problem. I don't care if people are like, you should know what you're reading. How do people learn? What do they think, that you just touch cards and you just know automatically? I'm certainly do not. But wow, beautiful. Swiftness, excitement, cheerfulness. darting damsel of the skies. Okay. So what else I've been doing in May? In the beginning of this, I showed my lavender plants. So I planted a tomato, I planted a cucumber, and a strawberry. So maybe, hopefully, I'll have a partial salad. Well, actually, that's a whole salad. Cucumber, tomato, and strawberries. That's a salad in itself. So I did that. And I'm one person, so I only planted one plant of each. Like, seriously. And my lavender. Now, I purchased this. It wasn't really a purchase as much as it was I have a credit at a store, and I received this. Beautiful. And then, new to me, but what I've been using in readings is this, the Gothic, Anne Stokes Gothic Oracle, and I love it. I love, but again, I open the book and I read the book, and who cares while you learn? Who doesn't like to see this book? I love the foiled pages and the full color. So I don't know, as I learn, I don't feel like this is a disruption into a reading if I've pulled the book. You know, if others are like, oh, you should know what that, what it means. All right, then go buy a deck and pick it up and tell me. It's always somebody that doesn't read that's like thinks that way. But I too use this with this. This deck is clarifying everything. It's a reinforcement. It's a helping hand and words of encouragement, right? But I've been using this. Just loving it. And I have no regrets with this purchase. I'm very delighted, actually. It's one of the darker decks that I have, and which is it's good. I can't have everything be fluffy and cutesy, and everything can't be like just vibe for me, right? I have to delve into this, but I love a Gothic vibe aesthetically. I don't know anything about goth culture. I had friends in school. I guess you could call them goth, but we called them grunge. It was the grunge crew, right? Very artistic. We were friends. We met in art class and photography, but aesthetically, we were all just different, but loved one another and still friends with some today. Oh, and now I'm more their style, and they're more clean. They're more like the casual folks today. It's just odd where life takes you. Wasn't allowed to be who I wanted to be when I was a child, and they had all this freedom to be and express exactly what they wanted. That didn't come for me until adulthood. And this deck I utilize, Michelle Matuza. Now, her the Healing Shamans deck, this is what I use for shadow work. This is good for shadow work, this deck right here. And I believe this one might be a pretty good piece as well. But that's what I use to get in touch with certain aspects. But this is a deck that helps me to truly connect. I do use the book. Sometimes I look up, but not normally. I just go with the visuals and whatever is there. And I use the headline, of course, the title, but a lot of times I just use this. This deck helps me to connect. There's something about I'm tuning in right now. I can literally physically feel my crown opening, like the tingle sensation on top of my head. I know it's happening right now, and it's just I'm seeing what I don't know how, I don't know why, metaphysically speaking, what's going on with me right now, but I think if I could actually hold this deck or view this deck while they did an MRI, there would be something going on within my brain. This deck does it to me. Now, the shamanic healing oracle does it for me as well, so long as I don't read the book, because it's more shadowy. But it has something to do with, I think, her art style. It has to be something. Now, I prefer this deck over this one because this one is matte and this one is glossy. And what I saw is I looked her up to see what she has available now. She does have a deck that you could, like a tarot that you can color for yourself, but I'm really not interested in that. But she has another shaman, like a shaman's oracle, and I want to see it and view it to see if it's different than this, like the imagery or whatever. And that will be one that I'll purchase, because for some reason I really can get in touch and connected with this deck, where information just flows, and it's ridiculous at times. I don't trust what's coming out of my mouth sometimes, like I sound like a nut, or I'm like, I just laugh. I don't take cards too seriously. I just don't, I utilize them, and this just helps me really connect. Like all of that look like nodes to me, or unless they're deers, but I don't know. This does it. But if you get into the book, this is really good for shadow work. As you can see, I utilize this. I'm wearing the foil off. Whatever, who cares? Maybe the next one won't have foil, because it does kind of make them look crappy, a little bit, but I don't care. Like when it comes to decks that I can connect, and in a way that tarot doesn't do, because tarot for me is more direct. I use tarot where others use oracles for clarification in readings. I'm kind of opposite. I love the oracles, and I use tarot for the specifics, because tarot speaks to me differently than oracles do. Tarot speaks to me in a direct way. I can get a direct answer, usually. Sometimes, the energy isn't that way for me, so, whatever. What else has been going on? We had Mother's Day, of course, and that was a lovely day. It wasn't anything, out of the norm for me, but it's nice to hear from all of the boys, and whatever. So that was pleasant. And in the beginning of this video, I showed, what did I do with the cards? I showed my hair, right? Because in October I stopped dyeing my hair and decided that I'm going to allow my natural hair to come in, and that is a journey, right? It's a very slow journey, as hair just does not, grow at the rate that I want it to, and my bleach is multicolored, and I don't want to be on camera. I honestly don't, but and for that reason. But I will be updating the hair growth, and just to see what it looks like. And once I am comfortable where I don't have 9,000 different tones in my hair, different colors of bleach, I will face to face. I'm not a person that's afraid of the camera or anything like that. I'm fine and comfortable normally. But I don't know, I'm going through menopause, so it's like everything's real wonky, and there's this extreme level of anxiety that rears its ugly head often, and certain ideologies play out in the mind. I believe I'm over that, the hump of it anyway. I got to the other side of that, but it was scary for a minute. And that's when I made the decision to, I don't think I want to invest money into my hair, because I went for a trim after post-pandemic, and it was $70, and I was just like, what? Yeah, I'm not doing that. I could only imagine what it would be if I had them color it for me, if I had went for the full salon visit that I would normally do. But I'm glad I didn't get it there, because I didn't feel like sitting, so I didn't sit. I did it myself, but I was like, this is the last time I'm going to dye my hair, and I'm committed to the process. And it's slow. The hair I just want to cut it all off, but I'm not willing to do a pixie. Whatever. So I'm going through a lot of personal growth and changes that are just natural, and I have no control, right? These are changes that I just have to go through, and that's what I'm doing, and that's where I'm at. And you wouldn't think that a hair journey would be it's about as emotional, but in a very exciting way, as I was with releasing so many decks. So the hair journey I'm excited for. And I keep looking at, instead of looking at tarot, I'm looking at haircuts. What style do I want? How short can I go without being uncomfortable? How short can I go and be bold? With maybe some style. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And I'll figure it out. But that's what I've been using in May, and that's what's been going on over here. Just really grateful for my family, my children, even when they get kicked in the face by a horse. I'm truly blessed, and I know this. So I'm really grateful for my life and all of the changes occurring. So I will be back maybe in April, because I know I have decks that I haven't used or shown yet. So go on out and enjoy an oracle or a day, a breath of fresh air, some sunshine, some natural organic healing. Get out in the fresh air. Take a little brisk walk. Love on yourself. Bye.